Hey guys, and welcome to the dog vlog. So guys, welcome to my very first dog vlog here on the Donna D Doggy Daycare boarding and training page. I've actually been blogging for years on another channel, doing a completely different topic, nothing to do with dogs. So I thought, why the hell am I not doing this for the doggy business? So here we are. It's beautiful Brady here. Look at her. Oh, she's so beautiful. She's decided to join in with me today. So today I'm covering two things. I want to talk to you guys about how to keep your dogs cool during very hot weather. And secondly, give you a recommendation of a venue locally that you can go to with your dogs, especially if you're in the Donna D area. And I actually didn't know that you could bring your dogs there until recently. Now, I'm assuming during lockdown you can't, but when lockdown is lifted, you'll be able to. So let me start off with talking about the next couple of days ahead. If you've been looking at the weather and you've been checking out the news, you know that we're about to get hit with quite a heat wave over the next 4 or 5 days. Now, when I say heat wave, I'm talking 18 to 20 up to maybe 25 degrees, which for some of us who've lived abroad, that's not really a heat wave, it's just lovely and warm. But for dogs, that can be quite an insufferable heat and can be really, really dangerous for them if you don't watch their body temperature and really take good care of them during the time that you have a heat wave. So here are a few things that you can do that really work for me every year with dogs here at Donna D Doggy Daycare. Number one, if you've got children in the house, chances are you have a paddling pool. Get the paddling pool out. Now, if it's inflatable, please be aware that dogs' claws are probably going to tear it and break it pretty quickly. If not, if you've got a decent, good, hard plastic one, they're perfect. I bought them in the range last year, hard plastic ones. I still have them. The dogs never broke them up. They're still perfect. So you can pull them out and fill them with lovely cold water just from your hose. And the dogs can splash around in them. But my advice to you is to fill your paddling pools the night before. The simple reason I say that is because very ice cold water can be quite a shock to a dog's system if they're overheated and can actually cause them more harm than good. So I always fill my paddling pool the night before and I leave it out and I let it sit where the sun is going to shine on it for a couple of hours in the morning so that it takes the initial cold out of it, but it's still cool. And the dogs love to splash around in it. And for a little bit of fun, I tend to throw some balls and things in to encourage them to want to go in it. Brady, sit down, please. Sit. Brady, sit. I'm so sorry, guys. She's kind of pulling my arm up gradually. So yeah, I really encourage throwing some balls and toys in there to encourage your dog to go into the paddling pool and to splash around in a bit. Some dogs don't like it and they won't go near it at all. So what do you do if you have a dog that won't go in a paddling pool for you? Well, you can do things like pick up bags of ice cubes, you know, like those big huge packs that you get in Aldi or Tesco or any of those. Hi, Brady. And you can put them into the freezer. Don't shake them up or anything, just put them into the freezer as they are. And chances are if you're bringing them home in the car, they've slightly defrosted, which is not such a bad thing. Throw them into the freezer when they're, you know, slightly melting and let them freeze up again. Then when you're ready, when they're nice and iced up, take them out, smash the bag against the wall and just empty it out all over the ground, out in your garden or in your courtyard. Or you can throw it into their bowls of water, which will help keep their water cooler for longer. But the reason I don't shake them to break up the ice and I just bang it against the wall is I want to keep the ice in quite big lumps. So that when I throw it out in the ground, the dogs can lick away at it or chomp away at it, especially bigger dogs. Bigger lumps of ice are better. And secondly, it doesn't melt quite as fast, so you get longer out of it for them until it disappears off into the ground, and then you have to start the whole thing all over again. So that's your paddling pools, your ice lumps, and of course you can throw the ice again, like I said, into the dog bowls and keep their water cooler. Keep an eye on dog bowls throughout the day and make sure that you are regularly filling them up and topping them up, because dogs that will drink a lot during hot weather, those bowls are going to empty out really fast. Another thing I really say to people is dogs don't always come down to wherever you have a bowl of water. For example, my Oisin, my rescue greyhound, if I don't put a bowl of water in the back garden and he's down in the back garden all day, he's not going to come up to the house to get the water. Sorry guys. So usually I put out 5 to 6 big 2 litre bowls of water, the big stainless steel ones, all over the place. I hide them all down the garden and I put maybe 1 or 2 up in the front of the house and then maybe 1 inside, though that's not easy when you got a 1-year-old like I do who likes to tip the bowls over upside down on the ground. So it's very hard to have one indoors. But I put them everywhere else and I constantly go out throughout the day and make sure that they're topped up and the water never runs out for the dogs. Another thing I do is, and it's a really nice one for them, is I take my ice cube trays, any ice cube trays you have, take some chicken, cook up some chicken, and then when it's cooked, dice it down. If you're boiling chicken, drain the water off, and just dice down the chicken into tiny little pieces, and then put a little piece into each ice cube tray with some cold water, stick them in the freezer, freeze them, and you have some delicious ice treats for your dog that will hydrate and also give them a nice little taste of something yummy to enjoy. You can also do that with peanut butter, and you can do it with yogurt, with natural yogurt. Make sure your natural yogurt has absolutely no sugar in it at all. Oh, and another piece of advice, if you are going to do it with peanut butter, make sure that peanut butter is 100% pure peanut butter. Nothing added to it, because some of the peanut butter companies are putting things like xylitol in through their peanut mix or sugar in through the peanut mix, and unfortunately it can be really lethal for your dog. So I find Meridian a great brand to use because it's 100% pure organic peanut butter, and it works really well for the dogs and they really like it. So just always mix them up with a little bit of water, put them in your ice cube trays, do them the night before, and freeze them. And then throughout the day you can give a little treat. Just be warned, they're going to be calorific, especially chicken, peanut butter and yogurt are going to be calorific, and your dog could gain weight if you're giving them too many. So just be careful that you're just giving one now and again, but not too often. These are the things that really do work for me. Another thing I do is I buy cooling pads in the summer. Now I haven't been able to get large cooling pads. I know you can get them online, but I do have small ones for smaller dogs, and I throw them into the fridge until they get really cold, and then I just put them around on the floor here in the house so that little dogs can come in and they can sit on them and they just get to cool down. Especially, you know, I have one little dog who comes to me who has lung disease, so she can't afford to overheat, and she does like to sit on the floor. So the cooling pads are fantastic for her because she can lie on them and she can really cool down and she doesn't overheat. And they've worked really well for me with dogs like Miss Lily. Lily is her name. I absolutely love her. She's adorable, little Lily. And just they really help her to cool down. So you can do things like that. Also make sure that you bring your dogs in throughout the day. Don't let them sit out in the sun all day long. Not all dogs will go into the shade, and the shade isn't always that cool. So make sure you get them in throughout the day, get them in to rest indoors, even just for a half an hour rest to cool down, and then you can let them go back out again. Sprinkling the hose is a great one as well, because some dogs like Brady here, Brady, do you like the hose? She's ignoring me. Brady really likes to bite at the water in the hose, but it gets her to drink it. So it's really great. So I often, you know, hook up the hose and put the water up in the air and put a big spray, and she runs under it and she grabs at it. And it's great enrichment for dogs as well, especially right now, because during lockdown you may not be within 5k of somewhere like the sea or a lake or a river where your dog can cool down. So all these things will help your dog not just stay cool, but to enrich their day and make their day a bit more fun for them, especially those dogs that are used to an adventure and they're not getting to go anywhere at the moment. And don't think they don't feel that, they do. And they're really probably missing that they're not getting to go swimming in the sea, or they're not getting to jump through the rivers. So these little things will help just make their day that little bit better, a bit more fun, and make it a little easier for you as well. So they are my tips for keeping your dog cool during heat waves. And of course we have that crazy heat wave coming up in the next couple of days, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's not so bad under lockdown when you can go outside and sit out in the sunshine all day. It's great. And it's good for the doggies too, because it does get them out in the fresh air all day and they're not all cooped up inside in the rain. So they're my tips, guys. If you have any others, please comment below and let me know what you do to keep your dogs cool, because maybe you've thought of something that I haven't, and it might be something that I'd like to try for my dogs. and for all my daycare doggies and my boarding doggies. Not that I've no boarding doggies at the moment because of lockdown, nobody's traveling. We're stuck with it, aren't we really? Yeah. So the second part of this, I wanted to tell you about a really awesome little restaurant that I've actually gone to a couple of times myself before lockdown, and I didn't know that it is actually dog friendly, and that is the Grill Shack. And the Grill Shack is located at the back of Roach's pub here in Donadee. So if you are traveling across if you're at the car park of Donadee, you would continue on down the hill to the crossroads, and then you will go straight through, and Roach is about 5 minutes up on the right hand side, and the Grill Shack is right at the back. I think it's only there a couple of years, that's all, but they specialize in kind of barbecue food, so anybody who really enjoys their barbecue meat, chicken, pork, all these sorts of things, they do that. They also do vegan and vegetarian, which is really awesome. But they have this beautiful outdoor area, and they've big umbrellas, and they've tables, and they've everything, and you can actually bring your dog in there and have a meal in there, which is fantastic. And they've bowls of water and everything out for the dogs so they can have a drink. So I was delighted to hear that we have a business locally that is dog friendly and that I can bring these guys to when the lockdown is done. Oh, let it be done soon. So what do you think of that, Brady? High fives? Yeah, she did do it. You missed that. High fives? There we go. Good girl. So check out the Grill Shack at the back of Roach's, and let me know if you did go when the lockdown is finished. I think at the moment they are open for phone in and collection for orders. But when they are open again, properly open, you'll be able to go and sit outdoors with your doggies. So let me know, did you go? Did you have a good experience? Did you enjoy it? And if you know of any other dog-friendly restaurants, bars, cafes, hotels, holiday homes, or anything else like that, let me and Brady know, and we'll go check them out for you, and we'll let you know how we got on and whether they were worth going to. So guys, that's it. That's my very first dog vlog, and I really enjoyed doing that actually. And next week, I might talk to you about lockdown lows, dealing with your dog in lockdown, and separation anxiety, and what to do as you start to go back to work, and doggy has got to be on his own all day long. It'll be okay. Okay guys, have a great week. And don't forget, fun for doggies is #1. Okay? See you in the next dog vlog.